Jed from Cook Culture. So another day here at Cook Culture. We got kids in school, e-learning, which has been going well, and it's my job to make some lunch. So one of their favorites is tacos, and tacos are super simple and really, really fast. So it's something that I thought that I would make for them today. So we've got some masa, we've got a taco press. We're going to roast off some yams. We've got lots of yams. We've got some cabbage. We've got some onion and some garlic and a little bit of pepper. And we've got some black beans in the pressure cooker. So I'm going to chop up some onions, chop up some, and pan fry them. I'm gonna chop up some yams nice and small, and we're gonna roast them. And then make some tacos, and then we're gonna make those on the stovetop. And then by that time, the beans should be done, and then we're gonna mix the beans and mash the beans and make a little bit of a paste with that. So here we go. So we're gonna make some simple fried onions. With the onions, I've got these separated already to make them into longer kind of wormy style, as my wife would call them. You can cut onions many different ways. One way is to leave one end on and to chop them sideways and then dice them, and that'll give you a dice. My kids like them when they are a little more stringy, and we can caramelize them a little bit, and it adds some flavor from the onion instead of just a straight dice. So today I've used a firm 8-inch blade. This guy is made down in Portland, one of the most beautiful knives we carry. It's got a local walnut handle. It's a joy to use for this sort of processing. Also comes in a santoku shape, and I find both of them are absolutely awesome to use for processing large veggies. They are a nice, strong, sturdy blade. All right, so we've got a preheated 10-inch field skillet. I'm going to get those guys into. And we're just going to let those cook away, probably 20-25 minutes. And a lot of, or actually most all skillets don't come with a lid. But if you can find a lid or have like a universal lid, you can sweat them down by putting a lid on them. Okay, so we've diced up, fairly small, but not ridiculously small, but small enough that it's going to fit into a taco quite nicely. These will also shrink down a little bit. Diced up yams. We've probably got more here than what we need, but I'm a big fan of having leftover everything so that I can quickly make up different things. Like really for making tacos, if I had a bunch of leftover veg and some beans, you can make some tacos in no time. We're starting from scratch today, but it's nice to have some leftover. So I used about 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic. I've got about a teaspoon of salt and about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and all around. I'm going to put into a 375 degree oven for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, as we're getting everything else ready to go. Okay, so we've got the onions wonderfully caramelized. They've got about a half teaspoon of salt on them. And now we're going to put a little bit of maple syrup. Just a tiny little bit there. And that's going to evaporate down and just sweeten those just a little bit more. Nice little sweetness, caramelized onion flavor in the tacos. Okay, so nice black beans, freshly out of the pressure cooker. So soaked for about 3 hours and then put in the pressure cooker for 15 minutes at a medium heat. Black beans mush up nice and quick. We're gonna squish in some garlic. I'm gonna throw in half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just gonna use the whisk to just mash it up. And here, you could put in some chili, bit of chili powder for some flavoring that I just may do, but just a little bit. I find that the kids like chili, but not a lot of chili. Okay, so that's a nice paste that we can use in the bottom of the tacos. Okay, so that's gonna set aside. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of chili powder on that, and we're gonna move on to making the tacos. We're gonna start making the tortillas for our tacos. I'm gonna do 2 cups. We are feeding 6 people today. So we're actually gonna do 4 cups of flour. And then, so it's 4 cups of flour to 1.5 cups of hot water. So when you make the hot water, so that's 3 cups. The hot water makes it the right type of rubberiness. So you have a rubbery sort of finish to it when you've got this all mixed up. And so the hot water is important. Cold water just doesn't create a very good binding, and it just doesn't work anywhere near as well when you go to make your tortillas. So I'm gonna keep mixing this up. I'm just gonna make that into a nice little even balls, and then we'll move on to making the tortillas, and we're gonna cook them on both of those different pans over there. You can get a scale and weigh these out, but once you make enough, you'll kind of get a sense of like a handful is about the shape that you want to get. Smaller the better. This might even be a tiny bit too much, but in we go. Center parchment paper into the tortilla press. This is an 8-inch tortilla press, which is nicer for larger tortillas. They come usually in 6-inch, what you usually find around. So what I end up doing is do it a quarter one, a quarter another, a quarter, and a quarter. And you just push it down nice and evenly, and you don't crank it down. And what you'll end up doing is squishing one side and have a really flat spot. But what you want to do is have, and see how it's really rubbery and jiggly like that? That's because of the hot water. Hot water has made it nice and bubbly and jiggly. So. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is making tortillas?
1.
A 1? 1 being easy, that is? So you think that anybody with limited kitchen experience could easily make a tortilla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So tell me how you're doing it.
Like my process?
Yeah.
Okay, so I grab some dough. I don't know how I measure it. I just kind of see that it's as big.
Size of your hand? Yeah.
Like I can hold it comfortably. And then I put it in the middle, not like approximately. And I put it down. And I put that, and I squeeze it all the way down. And then I turn it and fold over this side so it doesn't fold easily. And then turn it again. And then turn it again. Oops, remember to fold it, but don't fold the actual top up. Put it down. And voila. And don't pick it up like this. Push up and grab like that so you don't cut it. And then when you want to pick it up again, use your bench scraper to pick it up so you don't forget. And when you want to flip it, you want to see just a few flecks of brown. You really don't want to overcook these.
Looks good. Okay, so everything's come together. My daughter's done a tremendous job on making some wonderful little tortillas. So nicely browned on each side. She's a bit of a champion. So we're gonna assemble. We've got our black bean. Might have a bit too much in there. It's really easy to overwhelm these little guys. So a little bit of black bean. We've got our yam. We've got our caramelized sweetened onions. And over here we've got some orange peppers and some purple cabbage. We've got lemon. Put a squeeze of lemon on top. And then I made from cashew cream, so just dense cashew cream, a little bit of chili powder, olive oil, lemon, and a bit of water. And there it is. So all done and ready to go. That's lunch. So we've got 20 or 30 of those, and that's gonna be lunch.